Hello, I'm Professor Scarano from the Department of Medical Laboratory Science, and this brief presentation will outline time management and some time management strategies that may help you with your studies here at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. Today, we will define time management, learn how it is used in college, and learn why it matters. By the end of the video, you will be able to develop a time management plan that will help you manage your time by planning daily, weekly, and long-term activities. What is time management? Time management is how one uses time effectively in order to fulfill individual priorities, expectations, or responsibilities. More simply put, time management is a process for making the most of your time and energy. Time management is an important skill, and it's difficult to develop. As children, we are told what to do and when to do it. So during the transition from high school to college, we often struggle with time management. Many first-year students flounder in this newfound freedom and can get themselves into academic trouble very quickly without someone else telling them what to do. Many adults continue to struggle with time management too. It's an ongoing process. As demands and responsibilities change throughout life, we must adapt to new challenges. I'm certainly no expert, but I'm here to try to share some ideas and give you some pointers about how you might manage your time wisely. Why is time management important and what are the benefits? We can look at this from a bigger context with life in general, and we can also focus in on how time management is important to college students. First, let's try to think about the big picture. Efficient use of time allows us to decrease stress and increase enjoyment. What does that mean? Well, if you're constantly running from one task to the next with no direction or goal, you aren't really able to focus on getting anything done. That's pretty stressful. And it's no fun either. We need to find ways to be productive and enjoy life. There's a James Taylor song lyric that says, "The secret to life is enjoying the passage of time." Which brings us to the point. Effective time management allows us to strike a healthy work-life balance. We can imagine the benefits of that balance in the big picture, but how does that translate to you now? Let's try to focus in on the benefits from a college student's perspective. Effective time management in your situation as a student will facilitate better performance, which translates to better grades. Effective time management as a student also helps you to build confidence in yourself and confidence in your academic abilities. As you learn to handle the demands of academics at college, you will gradually learn how to handle more activities and more complex activities. When you figure this out in the beginning of your college career, it will prepare you to handle the more advanced courses and increased demands placed on you as an upperclassman. This, in turn, prepares you for juggling multiple activities later on in your chosen career path. Effective time management in college also allows you to plan to set aside time for the non-academic activities that you want to do. College is a great time to get involved in very rewarding volunteer activities, sports, clubs, and other important and worthwhile extracurricular activities. Effective time management in general helps us to avoid procrastination so that we can get projects, papers, and other assignments done before they are due. Let's think about time for a moment. We need to remember that time is a resource, but it is not a resource like coal or natural gas. It is somewhat intangible and more of a conceptual resource in many ways. Yet, time is a very real, concrete, and inflexible resource as well. It is an equal opportunity resource. There are 24 hours in a day, and that's true for everyone. Time cannot be saved. Unfortunately, you can't save time like you can put money in the bank. When someone says they save time, what they really mean is that they're able to complete something more efficiently than previously expected, so that some time can then be devoted to another task or activity. Time cannot be loaned or borrowed, and time cannot be renewed. So, we need to use our time wisely to do whatever it is we decide that we want to do. So how do we do that? There are 3 steps to effective time management, and the first is figuring out what we want to do, setting goals. The second is analyzing the way that we use time so that we can then complete the third step, which is planning how we want to use our time. Step number 1, setting goals. Effective time management occurs only in the context of clear-cut goals. We are able to be so much more efficient when we know what we are working to accomplish. Goal statements or mission statements are images of what our future should look like or what we want to accomplish. Goals and goal statements help us to keep our activities in perspective and give us direction. We can set short-term, mid-range, and long-term goals for ourselves. Short-term goals can easily be developed into a task list or a to-do list and help us to stay on track to get things accomplished. Here are some things to consider when setting your personal goals. Write them down. Get others involved in your goals. And remember that goal statements are statements of faith in yourself and hope for the future. Also remember that goal statements can be changed. The second step in effective time management has to do with analyzing how you currently use your time. This is very common in any planning strategy. We first have to know what resources we have available and how they're currently used before we can think about planning for the future. So in the case of time management, we all have the same resources available to us. There are 168 hours in a week. On average, people spend 56 hours a week sleeping, 21 hours eating, and in the case of college students, roughly 20 hours a week attending classes and labs. So that leaves only about 71 hours a week, or about 10 hours a day, to use for getting things done and having fun. How do you currently spend your time? The general idea here is to figure out how you currently use your time. Keep a record of the way you spend your time and revisit your planning strategies once you see how much time you really spend on various activities. You may use material provided in a textbook, like Becoming a Master Student. You may use a day planner or a calendar app on your phone to keep a diary of the way that you use your time for the next week. At the end of the week, add up the number of hours you spend on various activities. You may be surprised at how you use your time. Are there places that you can make changes? This exercise allows us to see how we use our time and helps us to be more proactive and decide if we can be more efficient with some activities. So once we know how we use our time, we can think about how to plan our time. And that is the third step in effective time management. Here are some things to keep in mind as you think about planning your time. A plan is a formulated scheme for getting something done. A plan is a general picture of a period in your life, and like goals, planning can be short-term, mid-range, and long-term. Here are some strategies for planning time. Schedule fixed blocks of time first. So, for college students, this means to plan to go to class. It is also an excellent idea to build study time into your weekly routine. Remember, you should plan 3 hours outside of class for each credit hour of a class. This time should be used to review the class material that was just covered and preparing for the next class. You should plan to do the reading for the class before you are scheduled to discuss it. You will learn so much more. As you are planning, be sure to include time for errands and routine maintenance. Include time for fun. It's a great idea to reward yourself with something fun after you complete several tasks on your list. Be realistic. Most things will actually take longer than you think, so estimate a time and then add a little more so that you have enough time without feeling rushed. Build in some flexibility. Unexpected things happen, so plan some additional time on activities just in case. Build in time to review the plan. This goes both ways. If you are super efficient and you can get things done more quickly, then you can reevaluate and decide what extra things you can do. By the same token, if you run into a lot of unexpected time drains, then you will have to take a few minutes and reevaluate your priorities for the things on your plan so that you can decide what is most important and what can wait. Flexibility is key. Use a task list to plan your daily activities or to-do list. A task list is a list of specific items you want to accomplish in a 24-hour period. Write it out. Some people like to do this the night before, and that works best for me because it lets me sleep better knowing that I have a plan for the next day. Some people like to wake up in the morning and think about their day. Whatever works for you is fine. Prioritize the items into A, B, and C lists. Items on the A list must be done. B items should be done, and C items do not need to be done. Avoid C fever and procrastination, and it will help you stay on task with things that are most important. It's your responsibility to claim your education, and excellent time management will help you to do that. So remember the 3 steps to effective time management: set goals, analyze the way you use time, and plan your time. The benefits are manifold and will allow you to be more productive and happy. This is all a work in progress with many variables. Do your best to continue to improve every day, and remember, the secret to life is enjoying the passage of time.